Hello, I'm Dr. Rhoberta Shaler, the Relationship Health Doctor, and I'm helping answer these questions that people have sent in order to give you some ideas that may solve problems for you. So this question says, my mother drives me crazy. She cannot leave one thing that is happening in my life alone. She has to comment on it, tell me what to do. If I don't do what she thinks I should do, there's no end of difficulties. How can I get her to recognize that I am quite able to make my own decisions and live with the consequences? So, of course, we're talking about an adult talking about their mother here, not a child. So let me give you a couple of things to think about. One of them is that you are absolutely within your rights to have, to express, to maintain strong boundaries. And sometimes when we have difficulties with our mothers or our fathers or other people who were authority figures in our lives, we haven't established those boundaries with them. And that's entirely up to you. I can tell you a story from my life. My mother was always giving me orders, no matter how many times I would talk to her about it. And at one point she said to me, go downstairs and get the bucket. I was 40 years old at the time, and so I didn't respond. And I said, go downstairs and get the bucket. And on the third time, she said, go downstairs and get the bucket. And I said to her, Mom, I don't take orders from anyone. People in my life make requests. And that was really hard for her. And she sat for a moment and then she said, go downstairs and get the bucket, please. So I went and got it. And we never had a problem after that. Now, I hope that you won't be 40 years old when you do it. And that was finally the time when she really took me seriously. It wasn't that I hadn't offered her boundaries before, but she didn't really seem to take them as seriously as I wish she had. So learn from my experience. Set boundaries and hold them. Express them. Always tell people what you're up to, and then maintain them. Do what you say you'll do. Because parents think that they can continue to give you orders as long as you continue to take them. Now, it may not just be orders. Adults don't fix one another. They don't rescue one another. They don't set each other straight and tell people how they should be. And they don't give them unasked for advice. That's healthy adults. They don't do those things. They don't fix people, rescue them, give them advice, or set them straight. However, not everybody is a healthy adult. So let's begin with ourselves. If your mother is driving you crazy, then you are probably letting her. And I know that sounds like you don't want to take responsibility for that because after all, it's her, right? But no, you're now the adult. And you have some opportunities to be assertive. And because you breathe and you take up space and you are an adult, it is time for you to become assertive. Now, assertive doesn't mean aggressive. And many people are not assertive because they are afraid of being aggressive. But you have absolutely every right to tell someone what you think, what you feel, what you need, and what you want. Not what you think about them, not what you feel about them, what you are thinking inside, what you're feeling inside. You may say something like, I think that I'm in a situation that feels very difficult. And you may say, I feel disrespected in this situation. That's you being assertive and telling somebody what's going on within you. When I wrote the book Kaizen for Couples, I wrote 2 chapters about a special formula that I developed called the Personal Weather Report. Absolutely wonderful, proven strategy for helping you effectively communicate with anyone. So be sure to go and look up that book, Kaizen for Couples, Kaizen for couples.com. And learn how to be assertive. Learn how to be assertive in a kind and honest way. You don't have to get angry. You don't have to point out another person's faults. So if your mom is driving you crazy, start by clarifying your boundaries. Start by demonstrating that you know who you are and you can say what you want and need. Just don't use the word you when you're talking about it. Talk about yourself. And then for your mom, tell your mom what works for you with your friends, what makes things happen that work and that make relationships better and that make both people feel valued and heard and listened to and respected. And you may have to do this bit by bit. It's not going to happen overnight. But it is something that is a pattern, and you have to establish it. Because remember, we're 100% responsible for teaching people how to treat us. And for more tips and things, go to forrelationshiphelp.com. Lots of free things there for you. Take the passive-aggressive checklist or the relationship checklist. Or look at all the blog posts. There's something there that will help you. And go to Amazon and just simply put in my name, Dr. Rhoberta Shaler, and you'll find all of my books there. So if your mom is driving you crazy like this person's was, and the last part of the question, how can I get her to recognize I'm quite able to make my own decisions and live with the consequences? Well, then you better demonstrate that. When things don't go as you wanted them to go, take full responsibility for them. Don't be blaming anybody else. Take responsibility for your actions and their consequences. Take responsibility for creating strong boundaries, holding them, maintaining them, and you will soon begin to see that there's a change in the patterns of your relationships, even with your mother. I wish you well with that. Take good care.